What if I told you that doctors in Japan, a country with one of the longest average lifespans on the planet, have identified just 5 specific exercises that can genuinely transform how your body feels, moves, and ages after 60? Not a complicated gym routine, not expensive equipment, not an hour of suffering every morning, just 5 carefully chosen movements, grounded in decades of research on how the aging body actually works, that together build the strength, the balance, and the physical confidence you need to stay active and independent for the rest of your life. Sound almost too simple? Keep watching, because if you are over 60, these 5 exercises might be the most important thing you do for your body this year. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand not just what to do, but exactly why each one matters for your body at this specific stage of life. Exercise number 1, the slow squat to chair. Let us start with a movement that Japanese physicians and physical therapists recommend more than almost any other for adults over 60, and it is one you can do anywhere with nothing but a sturdy chair and your own body weight. The slow squat to chair. Now, before you think you already know this one, stay with me, because the version I am about to walk you through is not a regular squat. It is a deliberate, controlled movement that trains something most exercise programs completely ignore: your ability to lower yourself slowly and with full control before sitting down. Here's why this matters more than most people realize. One of the earliest warning signs of declining physical function in older adults is what researchers call eccentric strength, the ability to control your body as it moves downward against gravity. Getting down into a chair, lowering yourself onto the floor, stepping down a curb, all of these require eccentric muscle control. And when that control weakens, falls happen. Not always in dramatic circumstances, but in the ordinary, quiet moments of daily life. The slow squat to chair trains exactly that capacity. And it also builds the quadriceps, the glutes, the hamstrings, and the core that you need to stand back up from a seated position without pushing off the armrests, without shifting your weight awkwardly, without needing help. Here is how to do it. Stand directly in front of a sturdy chair with your feet roughly shoulder-width apart and your toes pointing forward or very slightly outward. Your heels should be about 6 to 8 inches in front of the chair seat. Stand tall, shoulders back, chest lifted. Now, begin to lower yourself toward the chair by pushing your hips back and bending your knees simultaneously, as if you are searching for the chair with your body rather than falling into it. Move slowly, count 5 full seconds on the way down. 5 seconds. That slowness is the entire point. As you descend, keep your chest lifted and your knees tracking over your toes, not collapsing inward. Just before your body makes contact with the chair, pause for 1 second, hovering just above the seat. Then stand back up by driving through your heels and squeezing your glutes as you rise. That is 1 repetition. Aim for 8 to 10 repetitions with that 5-second lowering phase. If this feels too challenging at first, you can place a firm pillow or 2 folded blankets on the chair seat to raise the starting height and reduce the range of motion you need to cover. As your strength builds over days and weeks, remove the padding gradually until you are working with the full chair height. The slow squat to chair builds leg strength, protects your knees by training the muscles to absorb force gradually, and trains the pattern your body needs to navigate one of the most common scenarios in daily life, sitting down and standing up with confidence and control. Japanese longevity research consistently points to the ability to rise from the floor or a low seat without assistance as one of the strongest individual predictors of healthy aging. This exercise builds directly toward that capacity. Exercise number 2, the wall stand with heel raise. The second exercise addresses something that Japanese physicians call the silent risk factor of aging, declining balance combined with weakening calf muscles. Because those 2 things together are behind more falls in older adults than almost any other physical factor, and they are almost never addressed together in Western exercise programs. Here is the connection. Your calf muscles, specifically the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles at the back of your lower leg, do two things that are both critical after 60. First, they are responsible for the push-off phase of every step you take. When you walk and your back foot pushes away from the ground as you move forward, that force comes almost entirely from your calf muscles. When those muscles weaken, your stride shortens, your walking speed slows, your gait becomes shuffling rather than fluid, and your risk of tripping rises significantly. Second, your calf muscles are deeply involved in the balance response. When you stand on one leg, shift your weight, or experience a small perturbation that could become a fall, your calves fire rapidly to stabilize your ankle and prevent you from tipping over. Strong calves mean faster, more powerful balance corrections. The wall stand with heel raise trains both of these functions simultaneously, safely, and progressively. Here's how to do it. Stand facing a wall with your fingertips resting lightly on the surface at roughly chest height. Your feet should be hip-width apart, your posture tall, your core gently engaged. The wall is there for safety and light support, not to lean on. Think of it as a gentle touch rather than a grip. From that position, slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as you comfortably can. Feel your calf muscles engage fully at the top. Hold the raised position for 2 full seconds. Then slowly lower your heels back to the floor, taking 3 to 4 seconds on the way down. That controlled lowering is just as important as the rise, because it trains the eccentric strength of the calf that protects the ankle during walking. Do 12 to 15 repetitions at that slow, controlled pace. Once that feels manageable over a few weeks of practice, progress to a single-leg version. Keep one foot slightly lifted off the ground and perform the same heel raise on one leg at a time. Even touching the wall lightly for balance is fine. The goal is to train your ankle and calf through a single-leg balance challenge that directly mimics what your body does with every step you take. This exercise also stimulates the venous pump in your lower legs, which is the mechanism your calf muscles use to push blood back up toward your heart against gravity. Regular calf raises have been shown in research to improve lower limb circulation, reduce ankle swelling, and support cardiovascular health, all in a movement that requires no equipment, no floor work, and less than 3 minutes to complete. Exercise number 3, the standing hip abduction. This is the one that most people skip. And it is one of the reasons so many older adults struggle with their balance, their walking stability, and their ability to navigate uneven surfaces without feeling uncertain. The muscles on the outside of your hips, called the hip abductors, and the most important among them is a muscle called the gluteus medius, are responsible for keeping your pelvis level when you walk. Every time you take a step and lift one foot off the ground, your entire body weight shifts onto the standing leg. The gluteus medius on that standing side fires powerfully to prevent your pelvis from dropping toward the unsupported side. When that muscle is strong, your pelvis stays level, your gait looks smooth and controlled, and the demand on your knees and lower back is manageable. When that muscle is weak, the pelvis dips with every step. That compensatory movement puts abnormal stress on the knee of the standing leg, increases strain on the lower back, and creates the kind of inefficient, energy-draining walking pattern that makes older adults tire more quickly and feel less steady. Research published in journals on geriatric rehabilitation has identified gluteus medius weakness as a key factor in both falls and in the development of knee and hip pain in adults over 60. Training it directly is one of the highest return investments you can make in your physical function. Here is how to do the standing hip abduction. Stand next to a wall or sturdy chair with one hand resting lightly on it for balance. Your standing foot is flat on the floor, your posture is tall, your core is gently engaged. Slowly lift the outer leg directly to the side, keeping your toes pointing forward, not upward or downward. Your knee and hip should remain in line. Do not tilt your torso to the opposite side or hike your standing hip up as you lift. The movement should feel like it is coming from the outer hip, not from the waist. Lift to roughly 30 to 45 degrees, which is approximately the height at which your foot is level with your opposite knee. Hold at the top for 1 to 2 seconds. Then slowly lower the leg back down without touching the floor completely and immediately begin the next repetition. That small float above the floor keeps the muscles working throughout the set. Do 10 to 12 repetitions on each side. Rest for 30 seconds between sides. As you get stronger over several weeks, you can add a light resistance band around your ankles to increase the challenge. Even the lightest resistance band transforms this exercise into a powerful hip-strengthening tool that improves balance, gait quality, and hip joint stability simultaneously. Exercise number 4, the seated thoracic rotation. This exercise is going to feel different from the others. It is not about building leg strength or improving balance directly. It is about something that Japanese medicine has long recognized as foundational to healthy movement and longevity, and that Western exercise science has only recently started paying serious attention to. Spinal mobility, specifically the ability of your thoracic spine, the middle and upper section of your back, to rotate freely. Here is why this matters profoundly after 60. Your thoracic spine is designed to rotate. It has 12 vertebrae, and the joint structure between them is built specifically to allow rotational movement. When you turn your head to check traffic, when you look over your shoulder to back your car out of the driveway, when you reach across the table, when you swing a golf club or throw a ball or simply turn to talk to someone walking beside you, you are relying on thoracic rotation. It is woven into almost every daily movement that requires you to engage with the world around you rather than just what is directly in front of you. What happens to this mobility with age, and especially with prolonged sitting, is that the thoracic spine gradually stiffens, the muscles that support it tighten, the joints lose their range of motion. And when thoracic rotation becomes restricted, your body compensates by recruiting rotation from the lumbar spine, the lower back, which is not designed for significant rotational demand. The result is increased stress on the lumbar vertebrae and discs, which contributes to the lower back pain that is epidemic in older adults, as well as reduced shoulder mobility, reduced neck mobility, and difficulty with all of the daily movements that require you to turn and reach. A simple seated rotation practice, done daily, maintains the thoracic mobility that protects your lower back and keeps your whole upper body moving freely. Here is how to do it. Sit upright in a firm chair with your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Sit toward the front edge of the seat so you have freedom to rotate. Cross your arms over your chest, placing each hand on the opposite shoulder. Sit as tall as you can, imagining a string gently pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling. From that tall starting position, slowly rotate your entire upper body to the right, turning your chest, your shoulders, and your gaze together as one unit. Move only as far as feels comfortable, without forcing the movement or holding your breath. Hold the end position for 2 to 3 seconds, feeling the gentle stretch through the middle of your back. Then slowly rotate back through center and continue to the left side. Hold there for 2 to 3 seconds. That rotation to the right and back to the left is 1 full repetition. Do 8 to 10 full repetitions, moving slowly and breathing naturally throughout. If you want to increase the intensity over time, hold a light weight at chest level, such as a small dumbbell or a water bottle as you rotate. The added load increases the demand on the thoracic stabilizing muscles and deepens the training benefit. This exercise takes less than 2 minutes, can be done from any firm chair, requires no equipment, and directly addresses one of the most common and most underappreciated contributors to pain, stiffness, and restricted movement in adults over 60. Japanese physicians frequently prescribe spinal mobility work as preventive medicine rather than waiting for pain to appear. This is that medicine applied before the problem arrives. Exercise number 5, the modified bird dog. This is the exercise that ties everything together. And if you only take one movement from this entire video and commit to practicing it consistently, this might be the one to choose. The bird dog is a movement that originated in rehabilitative medicine and has become one of the most widely recommended exercises for spinal health, core stability, and balance training across multiple countries and multiple healthcare traditions. The version I am going to walk you through is modified to make it accessible and safe for adults who are new to the movement, while still delivering the full range of benefits the original exercise is famous for. Here is what the bird dog trains and why every single one of these things matters after 60. It trains the deep core stabilizing muscles, particularly a muscle called the multifidus that runs along the spine and is responsible for keeping the vertebrae stable and protected during movement. In adults over 60, the multifidus tends to weaken and atrophy, particularly following episodes of lower back pain, which is itself very common. Research from Australia and Japan both shows that targeted training of the multifidus through exercises like the bird dog reduces lower back pain recurrence, improves spinal stability, and helps maintain the disc health that protects the vertebrae from grinding on each other. It trains the glutes and shoulder stabilizers simultaneously, requiring opposite arm and leg to extend and hold while the rest of the body remains completely still. That combination of diagonal movement with core bracing directly mirrors the neural demands of walking, where opposite arm and leg must coordinate with every step while the spine maintains stability. And it trains balance and body awareness in a supported position, making it an ideal foundation for the standing balance challenges of daily life. Here is how to do the modified version. Begin on your hands and knees on a comfortable mat or carpet. Your hands should be directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. Your back should be flat, like a tabletop, with no arch in the lower back and no sag in the middle. Your gaze should be toward the floor, keeping your neck in line with your spine. From this position, begin with just the arm component. Without moving your torso or shifting your hips, slowly reach your right arm forward until it is level with your shoulder, parallel to the floor. Hold for 3 seconds. Then slowly return the arm to the starting position. Do the same on the left side. Just the arms, 8 repetitions per side. Feel how your core must work to prevent your torso from rotating or your hips from shifting as you move the arm. Once the arm movement feels stable and controlled, add the leg. From the same starting position, slowly extend your left leg straight back behind you until it is level with your hip, parallel to the floor. Hold for 3 seconds. Return. Then the right leg, 8 repetitions per side. When both individual movements feel solid, combine them. Extend your right arm and your left leg simultaneously, holding both for 3 full seconds before returning with control. Then extend your left arm and right leg. That opposite pairing is the full bird dog movement, and it is significantly more demanding on the core and the balance system than either component alone. Start with 6 full repetitions on each side and build toward 10 as your stability improves. If holding the position for 3 seconds feels too long initially, start with 1 second and gradually increase. The goal is control throughout, not duration. Over weeks of consistent practice, the bird dog strengthens your deep spinal stabilizers in a way that no amount of sit-ups or crunches can match, because it trains the core in the functional role it actually plays in your body as a stabilizer during movement, not as a prime mover during isolated exercises. Japanese longevity medicine emphasizes what practitioners sometimes describe as structural integrity, the ability of the deep muscles of the spine and core to maintain the skeletal framework in alignment during all the demands of daily life. The bird dog builds that structural integrity more directly than almost any other simple exercise, and that is it. 5 exercises that together cover the full range of what your body needs to stay strong, stable, mobile, and independent as you move through your 60s and beyond. The slow squat to chair builds the leg strength and eccentric control that keeps you safe every time you sit down and stand up. The wall stand with heel raise strengthens your calves and trains your balance response for every step you take. The standing hip abduction builds the hip stability that keeps your gait efficient and protects your knees and lower back. The seated thoracic rotation maintains the spinal mobility that lets your whole upper body move freely without compensating through the lower back. And the modified bird dog trains the deep core stability that ties all of the above together and keeps your spine protected during every movement of your day. None of these require a gym. None of them require special equipment beyond a chair and a mat. None of them take more than a few minutes individually, and the entire set of 5 can be completed in under 20 minutes on any given day. What they do require is consistency, not intensity, not effort that leaves you exhausted, just showing up and doing them regularly. Because in human physiology, particularly in the physiology of the aging body, consistency beats intensity every time. The body changes through repeated exposure to the right stimulus over time. These 5 exercises provide that stimulus for the exact systems, the leg strength, the calf and balance function, the hip stability, the spinal mobility, and the core integrity that determine whether the next decade of your life feels strong and capable or feels like a gradual retreat from the things you want to do. Start with what you can do today. Even if the modified versions feel easy at first, they are building the neuromuscular patterns and the foundational strength that will make every progression accessible to you. Stay consistent for 4 to 6 weeks and pay attention to how your body moves in daily life, not just during the exercises. That is where you will feel the difference first. If this video was useful, share it with someone in your life who could benefit from it. And I will see you in the next one.